couple of months before COP26 came here to Glasgow, I actually stepped away from my career and my PhD. If you've seen Don't Look Up, essentially I had to step away from my career for my sanity. Because Jennifer Lawrence's character in Don't Look Up perfectly portrayed how it has been feeling for me to be a climate scientist in today's world. And that because it became acutely painful to deal with over the last couple of years, us climate scientists painted such a clear picture of what we can expect going forward into the future in regards to climate crisis and climate breakdown. And I was heartbroken at the world because I couldn't understand why our leaders, weren't doing anything about it. COP26 changed that for me, however. I was taught that I was not alone in how I was feeling. It showed me the amazing power of the people, the power of solidarity. And for the first time, possibly ever, I felt and still feel optimistic that we can make the change we need to save our species. Just as a disclaimer, this is not all about the climate, but I wouldn't be here talking to you today if it weren't for my background as a climate scientist and my experience of COP26. So sorry, but not sorry. It's going to feature a lot over these next 10 minutes, so please stick with me. I'm somewhat ashamed to admit that joining the COP Coalition March on the Global Day of Action here in Glasgow during the midst of COP26 was my first time ever participating in a protest, a march, a demonstration. It was my first taste of being an activist. I had purposefully steered clear of activism, partly because the media paint such a bad picture of activism as just being another angry voice. I want to affect change, not just be an angry voice in it all. I want to deliver solutions. And the way our media portrays activism, I didn't feel it was a space for me. I'm here to tell anyone who felt the same as me that that is not what activism looks like. Activism is simply standing up for what you care about and what you believe in. It's a form of self-care, of self-respect. Activism and the right to protest is what got us human rights. It's what got us women's rights, workers' rights. I would not be here. In fact, I would not have been able to pursue my career as a scientist. I would not, let alone work in Antarctica and earn this medal for contributions towards Antarctic science. If it wasn't for all the amazing people, all the amazing protesters and activists that have come before us, allowing for me to follow my career and as a woman, even just go to Antarctica, let alone work there. Yet, not even a month on from the end of COP26 and getting involved as an activist, I learnt about this bill, this threat to our democracy, and that is why I am here today. We cannot fight for climate justice if our voices are silenced. We cannot fight for any injustice if our voices are silenced. We cannot hold our government to account if our voices are silenced. Something I find interesting about the timing of this bill is that it comes, the timing of this bill, this attempt by our government to strip away our rights and threaten our freedom, comes right as the world came together here in Glasgow and said enough is enough and showed that we are ready to take matters into our own hands.